Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. Myself and Reece. Josh may or may not join us. I think he's got a flat viewing, but he said he should be here because he wasn't here on the Monday one. But this is going to be a bit of a Q&A. We've not got that much to catch up on. I mean, maybe we do with Josh, but me and you, we had a good catch up the other day. Is there anything that's happened in 3 days, mate? How's your leg recovering? Seems to be getting there.
No. So leg update. Hopefully one of the last ones. Got my handbag taken off now. Got a checkup, mate. Hear this. I didn't even know this. They went round. So on Tuesday, I got a letter through my door last week that said I have an appointment in Leicester. So I asked Finn. Finn knows this. I said to Finn, "Can you come into the gym? I need to go to this appointment." I had someone come to my house to look at my leg. I also had a nurse go to my old house, my mum's house, to look at my leg. So they clearly just triple booked me, because I called the hospital afterwards and they were like, "Yeah, you don't need to come in if you've been seen." And they were like, "We have two people coming out for you," and they're two different locations. And I was thinking to myself, how much clearly, mate, our tax money is going on.
Honestly, the NHS is a joke, isn't it? They go on about how they're understaffed and stuff. Yeah. No, that's why, because they're making fuck ups like that.
Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, there's literally three people that one's booked, but three have booked out time for me.
And you literally were travelling to them.
Yeah. So I was literally I said to Finn, I need you to come in. And then I just got a call. "Hey, Reece, I'm at your house." And I was like, "Hey," and they were like, I was like, "I'm not there." I was like, "I can come back if you want." But she was like, "I should come to you. Where are you?" And I was like, "Physique Club gym." So I was getting my dressing changed upstairs, and usually, apparently on my file, it said that I was supposed to have this machine on for 2 weeks, 2 to 3, and I had it on for a week. So when she took the dressing off, she was like, "Oh my god, let me look at the previous photo." She was like, "That's healed so quick. It must be because," literally her exact words, "you must eat and drink loads of protein." And I was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, not all the BPC and peptides I've done." So to solve a leg injection abscess, I've injected my leg even more. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome, but so far it hasn't happened. So I've been quite lucky. Hopefully, touch wood. But yeah, so healing's been going well. I've got a different plaster on now. Funnily enough, it came off the first night, and it was so weird looking down at my leg and seeing this just axe wound that's just there on my. And I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm just bled on the bed. So that was a bit funny. But otherwise, all is good. I've now have to go to the local nurse every 3 days to get the dressing changed. Yeah, I have my own ones that I changed it literally that night. So I don't know. Can you change my leg dressing? All they do, take the plaster off, put the plaster on. Yeah, I can understand if it was check up every 10 days. You in the meantime do it yourself. But yeah, I don't know. And even that, that's such a waste of time. I almost don't want to go because I'm like, I can do
waste of your time and their time and resources when there's people that think this is what.
Mate, there's a lot worse issues going on.
I was going to say, this is what the issue is people will, for example, your issue was self-induced. It wasn't an accident or anything. Obviously, it wasn't meant to happen, but you know what I mean? You are injecting, you're putting yourself at risk. So that's why you were probably in hospital for so long, because it wasn't a major trauma, it wasn't a brain issue, it wasn't a crazy sort of accident, any kind of traumatic experience. But still, the fact that they left you just in the hospital for a full however many days, even though it was your fault and it was a bit of shit, still surely they could have been a bit more efficient with that. And then now showing how they are with how they're being in terms of constantly getting stuff fucking wrong, being in different place, different times, it's just fucking annoying. But it's the NHS, and this is why I said you should just go private, because you got all that money.
Honestly, mate, I would have if I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought I'd just get some antibiotics, and that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you'd have known in hindsight, you'd have been like, "Oh, I'm paying privately and sorting it out quickly."
I'm literally going right now, do the process of just putting it through my business. It works out I don't know, 100 and something quid a month. And if I run into any issues again, it'll be so much easier.
Who are you going with? Who is it with?
I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. My mum's, as always, sorted the initial stuff out. But yeah, I just need to send everything through to them and basically get my details on the system. But it was something, I don't know, it was some you can tie it into your business and it's some sport. I can send it to you if you want. Have you got it or not?
I feel like I have got something with when I got my mortgage. I've got a healthcare thing that I pay for, but I don't know what it is. I should really properly check. But when I went through my mortgage advisor and like got my mortgage, he was like, "Look, this is what you should get. This, and this. Like mortgage insurance, life insurance, like all these kind of things." So I don't know if it's included in that. I'd have to have a proper look.
It'd be hilarious if it only counted in the house. So let's say you have a heart attack and like you're outside, they're like, Finn, you need to like literally crawl in the house.
Like in football, like you stay on the pitch. If you crawl off, like they can play off.
It has to be like you get put into the stands and you just like roll onto the pitch. You're like, yeah, stop the game.
I remember when I used to play, literally at the level that I played at. Like, I remember I got injured and like was like kind of trying to walk off, and they were like, "No, like stay on and go down." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you don't even think that shouldn't really matter. Like I'm just trying to like, get me off, get me sorted, and I'll get back on. But yeah, like even at that level, it's like fucking tactical. Right? Did you put a question box up?
I did not because I saw yours and was like, usually you get more than me anyway. So
I have. I've got a few. I've not got a load, but there's a few decent ones that we can go through. Um, the first one's great. Someone just put yeah, literally just yeah. These are the bots I'm getting following me from my bicep curl videos.
Yeah, you've been milking the algorithm, bro.
I know, mate. It's killing it. Just getting loads of like weird people messaging me now saying PayPal, PayPal, PayPal. I'm like,
Really?
yeah, well, yeah, I do have PayPal, but I'm not. Oh, mate, and the podcast. Oh my god, right? Earlier today, I got a message on WhatsApp, right? And I'm thinking, right, oh, it's a coaching inquiry, yeah, because they literally did inquire for coaching. I blocked the number, so I can't get the message back up. But they inquired for coaching, but it was so weird, right? So this is the message, yeah. The message said something like this: "Hi Finn, I have worked with a model, I've worked as a model in the adult industry before, so don't worry about my profile picture. That doesn't matter. I'm inquiring seriously about coaching. I really want coaching. I want help to build muscle and also gain more clients myself. This is a really serious this is a really serious inquiry," or something. I blocked them. It's literally a black guy with his legs spread open and a massive erect penis is his profile photo.
Funniest thing is, he should have even mentioned it. He should have replied.
I wouldn't have even seen it, right? So from afar, it looks like he's doing like it just looks like a black guy doing a front double bicep, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then you actually click on the photo, and it's not a front double bicep; it's a massive black penis.
It's a massive
So,
penis, front erect penis.
mate, honestly,
Erect penis pose.
I was like, first of all, I was impressed. I
Yeah,
was like, fair play, bro. That's huge.
yeah,
I think the angle did him justice, though. You know, like it's gone really low angle, so it's definitely done him justice there. But it was, massive cock. But I was like, I can't respond to this seriously and go, "Hey, mate, yeah, don't worry about the profile
Don't worry
photo."
about the penis. Yeah, don't ever see your penis. Yeah. Like, mate, it'd be the same as like, have you ever had the DMs? I've had a few where it's like, "Hey, mate, hope you're good. Just thought if I could ask for some physique update advice, or physique advice. This is where I'm currently at." And I clicked on the photo once, and it was just a guy naked in the front, like completely bollock naked. And like, I think he put on the photo that he sent, he typed out like, "Sorry for the nudity. Just prefer to take my photos this way." It was like, so he's there, but at least he was flaccid. He wasn't erect.
Oh no, this was like a full on like one of those where it's like, oh, this is a good one.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
raging boner, I'd call it. But I just didn't message him back. I thought, mate, the fact you even brought it up, I can't message. Yeah, hey mate, yeah, let's jump on a consult call.
Yeah. Or like like on WhatsApp, if you get the chats up on a check-in, he's just there. Like you can see the profile picture on the side, and you're just like having to say to everyone, "Don't worry about like."
No, I don't do that.
Don't worry about Jermaine.
I don't let anybody see
Yeah,
the.
Jermaine's a nice guy. Jermaine's cool. Like, don't worry about Jermaine. I know you can
I
see
actually
him.
can't remember what his name was.
Yeah,
I feel like it was Jeffrey, to be honest.
yeah,
I actually think it was.
yeah.
Anyway, that was something that happened that just sprung to mind. So, worst excuse you've heard for a client missing a check-in?
Oh, ah,
I feel like we'll have had a lot.
yeah. But I feel like you'd almost just like when they're clearly bollocks. You don't.
You just call them
You just
out.
literally. You just. Yep, sound cool. Like I don't think of it any more than just going. Sound. It's
I had one the other day who checked in late because it was Easter, and it wasn't. This was like This wasn't Easter Monday, by the way, which is almost understandable. It's like, oh, sorry, mate, it's a bank holiday. I didn't realise. This was like the Thursday before Easter.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
like, it's Easter. No, the guy checks in on Wednesday. This was last Wednesday.
Oh,
He checked
yeah.
in late and he was like, it's Easter. I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. I was in Marbella. I was like, mate, it's not Easter. I
Yeah.
was like, it's Easter literally in like 4 days.
And nobody's like, oh, it's like I could understand if he's like, it's Christmas and it's like the 26th,
Yeah,
27th.
if they're like, oh, mate, it's Christmas, I'm going to
Yeah.
take checking
Yeah.
off
It's
anyway.
not
Or
like, no, mate, it's not the 25th. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it. But like, no one goes, yo, man, it's Easter. Like, love Easter. And it's like,
4 days early.
Yeah,
When on the
Tuesday.
Wednesday before, I was like, that's
Is
not
he
an
a
excuse.
student? And does he have time off school or like college?
No, no, he's an adult. He's got a job.
Ah, that's
I
crazy.
called him out on that.
Yeah.
Other ones, I feel like to be fair, my clients are good. They
Yeah.
very, very, very rarely check in late.
Yeah. I'd say mine just come from like pure like literally just like, oh bro, I'm so sorry, I like completely forgot it's my check-in day and I don't know what slipped my mind. Like I don't really think I feel like with the way I am, like my clients know that I'll call them out and just be like, what is this about, mate? Like
I was actually
you
thinking
know,
this earlier. I was like, I've got like my Thursday check-ins. Like, you have certain days where your check-ins are like you have days where you're like, oh, my check-ins today have all been really good, really positive. I feel like I have that like most days, to be honest. But like today, especially Thursdays, are really, really good. Like, and I remember I was just thinking that earlier. I was just like, I think I'd finished my check-ins, and it's a busy day as well with it being a rest day. I put like more on today. I'd finished my check-ins by like midday,
mm.
and like they were all like,
Finn, is that because you got up at 3 a.m. and you saved a month or whatever?
yeah, no, I got put 5, mate.
Oh man, you're missing out if you get up at 4. Apparently, according to Steve IQ, that you
That his
can.
name now, not Stephen
I
Church.
called him Stephen IQ, because he was a elite IQ play. So just don't sleep, bro. You know, waking up at 5 for the fucking week.
He is just a meme now, isn't he? I mean, he was even back in the day. Like literally, we knew he was a gimp 5 years ago.
I feel like we got on like like Bitcoin investing in 2012. We did that with Stephen like years ago. Like our first ever interaction with the guy, we were like massive weapon.
Where is he? Is he living abroad?
Yeah, he lives abroad. He does his coach business mentoring, which is crazy because it's like that doesn't make sense. He's never been a big coach. I don't really get like maybe the marketing's
He's
just
so, isn't it?
yeah, the marketing's maybe towards the people that like he lives the I'm in Dubai lifestyle. Or I don't know if he's in Dubai or Bali or whatever, but I don't know what because he's never been a big coach. Like he's not been somebody who, or at least when it comes to the clients he works with, I don't know if he's again getting fucking Susan who's 37 who hates her life to pay him for a year up front or whatever. But like he doesn't have. Like, I've never looked at any of his clients and gone, "Oh, you're coached by Steve." No one's come up to me, "Yo, man, I'm coached by Steven." No one says that. You know, like where we know everybody who goes, "Oh, you speak to someone at a show," and they're like, "Yeah, man, I'm coached by this guy." I've never heard in my entire life anyone be coached by him.
No.
You know, which is
Back in the day, there was like a couple people that trained out of Rotherham.
yeah, but is that where he used to train out of? That was his home gym for like I felt like he's had like about 10 different locations and he just like moves to different places.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough. That's enough time wasted.
Yeah. I didn't actually say my check-ins. No, honestly, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I remember once, and this is the opposite. I had a guy check in on time, and like genuinely, his sister had been involved in like a car crash, like literally the night before, and he was like, "Hey man, I haven't slept, but here's my check-in. I'm gonna be a bit late with the photos." But like, I've been in hospital because my girlfriend got hit by a drunk driver, and I'm like, bro, why are you checking in? Like, why?
People are just blinded by routine.
Yeah,
Like it's Thursday, I check in on Thursday.
yeah. I have to check
You know,
in.
that's
Yeah,
what they're like, and like that's
yeah.
great when you're wanting to be a good bodybuilder. But if you're like going through anything like that, like you need to be like a bit more human.
Yeah. I had a client leave me last year in prep because I took away 2 square bars when he said he was struggling, and I was like, "You need to kick on." And then he didn't check in with me for 3 days, and then he sacked me. So can I
Who was
say,
that?
uh, he would take it personally. He blocked me afterwards. Oh, I know. We've both coached him.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was yeah, like it was a response to I'm pretty much there. I think I'm ahead, or I'm there. I don't need to be lean. And I was like, unfortunately, mate, you do. Like, sorry, we're gonna dig on for the next. I'm gonna kick on and dig for the next few days. Then my lee's up. Gonna have to take away your square bars, mate. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. Doesn't check in for 3 days. Hey, mate, I'm leaving. Then proceeded to compete and look worse. And I was like, great. Yeah. So
It is crazy though, people's like mindset towards the end of a prep. Like
yeah.
that squares bar to him or those squares bars is so important in terms of like just how he feels and like
Yeah.
looking forward to meals. Like it is crazy like what prep can
Oh,
do.
it would have. He 100% would have took that as a personal stab at him. Like it wouldn't have been, and that's not because of him. It's because you mix in high stress, potentially PEDs, really low levels of body fat. Like you take it as an insult. It's like he's saying, "I'm ready," and I'm like, "Mate, unfortunately, like you're not. Like you're not mile miles
Oh,
off."
but, yeah.
Yeah, another week or so you'll be there, but we do need to kick on so we can get ahead. Like, because it was where he wanted to do an earlier show. If we were doing the first show that he wanted to do, we wouldn't have had to do it. But I was like, okay, you want to do the show? We're going to have to like speed things up a bit. Sorry, mate, these square bars are going. But in a few days, you won't be doing cardio. You'll be eating more food, and then again, you get on stage and they end up looking worse. But like that mental dynamic is like that's like that takes precedent, and it's hard when you're in the moment because you can't really rationalize it. It's like your brain gets set on something and it's like that is the direct issue, you know. I don't know if you saw Finley, do you see Finley Roberts' post about sleep and stuff for his show on the weekend just gone?
No.
So obviously Finley Roberts competed. We love Finley. I used to coach Finley for like years at this point, and we spoke about it before the podcast that we did the other day. Finley put a post up about like he's had like really bad sleep and really bad like itches and stuff. I've seen it on his close friends, which every prep, I'm going to be honest with you, every single time, bro, I feel like you end up running into like these new health issues, which isn't the most like that isn't the most like uplifting sort of thing. I'd be a bit concerned. I'd be like, something's not going right here. He's been having like really bad night itches and stuff like. He's not really been sleeping, and like I think the whole post was derived after his showing off just my sleep, and it's like, oh, sorry, bro, like your sleep obviously is not going to help, and 100% it's going to make things worse, especially if it's been present for the last like let's say period of time, like last couple of weeks or whatever. But at the same time, like it's not really that in regards to directly why you're stepping on stage out of shape. It's the food, like it's your composition. And I think, like, in a way, I guarantee Finley in 2 weeks, once he's probably a bit more, like, level-headed, will probably be like, yeah, probably wasn't helping, but I also need to stick to my plan, or I need to fucking diet harder, or I need to do more. But in the moment, it's so easy just to go, this is the main reason why. And it's definitely a reason, but it's like, it's so hard when you're on your own. We've all done it. I guarantee, like, let's say Josh Campbell, mate, before, in that Vegas, one of the, have to have an Epsom salt bath the day before a show. It was like you couldn't. He trained in the hotel gym.
Positive. That obviously is still obsessive, but that's a positive one. It's like he wants to freshen his legs up, not eat off plan. You know what I mean?
Also, like,
I know what you mean. It's still gets. Yeah.
I remember Josh having the square bar and then licking the wrapper for 20 minutes afterwards. That's crazy. Like
It was 20 minutes, was it?
it was. We were sat there and it was like a good 10 to 15 minutes after, and I was like, "Why are you licking the square bar?" He's like, "Oh, taste." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, he was very lean though, for very long.
Not in Vegas. He wasn't that peeled in Vegas. He was a bit soft in that.
He was just flat. He wasn't. It wasn't that he'd lost condition. He was just flat and losing muscle.
But yeah, like those are the things that, like, again, like I guarantee if someone said to Josh, "Hey mate, like true or false, were you licking a fucking square bar wrapper?" He'd go, "Fucking hell, yeah, I was," or whatever. Like we all gravitate towards these weird sort of like traits, and then when you get them into your plan, it's like it's so hard to shake. And then you end up doing it for a few weeks, and then again you get yourself into a normal headspace, and you're like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah, I always say it. I say it on the when we do the natural physique podcast. Like, if you would to be like questioning yourself when you're doing things in prep, just question: would I do this in my off season? And if the answer is no, then probably shouldn't be doing it. Whether it's licking a square bar wrapper, whether it's having 10 different 0-cal drinks, whether it's having 10 different flavors of whey or cream of rice or whatever, like, would you be doing that in your off season? Or would you just stick with like probably one flavor of cream of rice and one flavor of whey that you like, or even an unflavored cream of rice, like a rice flour or a rice pudding? Would you be having like 8 Pepsi Maxes throughout the day or 8 coffees? No, like you wouldn't. So don't do it now. Like that's one thing that like I've just been constantly reminding myself of that. Like, would I do this in my off season? If the answer is no, okay, don't do it.
Yeah, and it makes it easier. It makes it so
Yeah.
easy.
You just you have to have that initial battle of like, oh, it'd be nice to have that, but like that's it. Like for me, it's mainly coffees because like I could have another coffee, and I could have another coffee, and like even decaf. You know what I mean? Like I have one. I generally have one caffeinated and one decaf a day. It's not a lot. You know what I mean? Two. It's not a lot at all. But like in Marbella, I was having two, like two normal ones in the morning. because we went to a nice coffee shop and it's like, oh, I could do this, and like before you know it, you're having 3 regular coffees and 2 decafs in the evening. And it's like, mate, what are you doing? Like, would I do that in an off season when I'm eating plenty of calories? No, I wouldn't. That would my digestion would be fucked if I was having 5 coffees a day, even if 2 of them are decaf or whatever. Like, I'm just making sure I'm sticking to 2. But it's easy done. You can see how people do it. They just
Oh,
go,
mate,
oh, yeah,
I remember you were living off fucking Vimto last prep. Like you were drinking Vimto from like the second you woke up. The sugar, no added sugar, but it still does have calories. Like
yeah,
if you're putting like, let's say in every 2 litre bottle of water you have, you're probably going to be having 60 to 80 calories, and it's not even that. It's the stimulation you give in your brain.
yeah. It's the mindset. It's
Yeah.
the change in your mindset that it
Yeah,
has. Is like
like
constantly.
I was on my phone a lot when I was in hospital. I was on my phone like a lot more than I would usually be because I'm lying in a hospital bed and I can't really move. And like I definitely like the last like to be fair, it's been back to normal. But like I set myself limits on apps. But like in between check-ins when I got back, I was just picking up my phone and just going on it. And I was like, this is not good.
Yeah, I
Like
wouldn't usually do
I've
that.
been in hospital and I've got all day to do my check-ins because I'm not training, and I don't need to be flying through them and getting them done by 2 p.m. because I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna just get them done through the day, and like as a result, I probably was like, I'm going on my phone more, and I was just procrastinating. So I was like, I need to fucking sort that out. But in a prep, it's like every time you give your mind what you want, you continue to do it, and it's like the sugar-free drinks, the caffeine, the let's say like things like flavor drops and shit. Like I've never used that, but I imagine that would be so addicting to be like, let me just put more in.
Different
You know,
one, different.
yeah.
Yeah.
In which I am going to say I do think flavour drops in a meal as a fully grown adult is potentially a bit gay. Like I do think that's like one of the gayer things.
Yeah.
Imagine
What
if I was,
about flavor powder?
hmm?
What about flavor powder? Like ESN do flavor powder.
I just think, mate, imagine we were to go on a weekend away and I'm like, oh, I forgot my flavour drops.
Yeah, I get
You know what I
that.
mean? Like
Well,
that's like
also, you could argue like flavor powder is basically just like seasoning.
no, because seasoning's different. That's it's like
I'm, I, I'm with you, mate. I don't use flavor drops or flavor powder. I use caramel syrup in coffee,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but that's it. Like, but
That's it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't be putting like loads of different flavor drops and things in my food. But
You know what is another shout for potentially a bit of a gay food, not gay food, but a gay item.
I'll
You know
say that.
okay, a soft item.
So,
Okay, so I can't say soft.
no.
Okay, fuck. Um,
Apparently, we've got to say fruitiest or
okay, fruitiest. Okay, what's the fruitiest thing I do? You know the drink. You know like cordial drinks. I'm not against that. But do you remember the little squeezy pouchy things you get?
yeah, they're
Like 5 servings, and you get like. Do you remember them? That
I never used them.
no, but imagine carrying one into work and being like, oh, let me just put it. Let me just
I
squeeze
say
it.
that though. I say that though. The caramel syrup that I have is a squeezy one.
Okay,
Yeah, it's good though.
okay, fair enough. That's right.
But I'm not saying it's really straight. Like if I'm
No,
getting it out in a coffee shop and I'm squeezing it in, like oh yeah, I'm getting weird looks.
okay, yeah,
And then I go, I'm gay. What? Get
yeah,
over it.
yeah. And they're like, oh, it's fine, sir. It's fine.
No, then I tell them to go and kill themselves because they're
Yeah.
against gays.
Did you see my comment on the one of the reels that got posted? It's like, as a proud,
Yeah, I don't look at any of the comments.
oh, I no. So it was a reel that Wandering You're In posted, and it was like, as a proud white straight male, this is incredibly gay, and I'm offended. Like,
That's
'cause
what you.
yeah, I put as a proud white straight male. This podcast is incredibly gay, and I'm offended. It was the one about Andrew Jackson.
Oh, when it zoomed in on it, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like that isn't an acceptable comment, but if it's the other way around, and when you're talking about like if it's something straight, it's like oh no, can't say that, you're offending the gays. Sorry to any gays out there. Hopefully you're not offended by the podcast. We love gays. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Right. Let's move on.
yeah.
Shay has asked us favourite footy watching moment over the years. United for Finn, Liverpool for the lads, but obviously Josh isn't here.
Liverpool, Barcelona, I'd say probably 2019, I think, yeah, 2019. 4-0, fantastic game. I remember like literally feeling like euphoric after that game. Like it was like, this is like peak life. I also think the World Cup final that you missed because you slept, the ending to that game was like ridiculous.
I woke up at the end, so I didn't miss it all. I missed the boring bit.
Yeah. But yeah, the 30 minutes like towards the end, the extra time, the last 15 minutes of like regular time, and then the extra time was a fantastic watch. But that was obviously not Liverpool. What would you say for your Man United and non-Man United?
So mine's a bit of a weird one. Like I'm trying to think. Obviously, United haven't had that much success in recent years, and even if we have, it's been like winning the FA Cup and like kind of just like snatching it, not being like a great team. But when we beat Roma, I think we won 7-2 or 8-2 in the Champions League. Will have been like maybe 08, oh
Is
09,
that
or
the one
maybe.
where Ronaldo scored the header?
Yeah, I think it was that game. Carrick scored a couple of long range goals, and like I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I know we had the AIG kit. I think at that time.
Hmm.
And I just remember watching that game as a kid and being like, "Oh my god, like this is the best game ever! Like it's just goal after goal after goal. Like it was sick." Other than that, in recent times when we came back and beat Leon, Harry Maguire scored that header in the last minute in the Europa League.
What about the Liverpool game that we went to watch?
Yeah, the game that we were actually at, that was good. Yeah, the FA
That was
Cup game.
really good, actually.
Yeah, that was a sick game to be fair. Um, I mean, you remember the worst things, don't you? Like, I remember when England got knocked out by Germany when Lampard's goal didn't stand, and I was a kid like watching that and cried. I remember
When
when we got knocked out
Donnarumma,
by Portugal with Rooney and Ronaldo, cried.
Donnarumma saving the pen, and we were like, no.
Yeah, but that was a bit more modern. I didn't cry
Yeah.
there. The Champions League where United beat Chelsea, I do remember that. I stayed up when Terry slipped. That was sick. But again, that was almost like they lost it rather than us winning it.
Yeah, yeah, I
It
remember that.
was. It wasn't like, oh my god, we've won that. It was like they've like lost it, and it's almost like sad for Terry like slipping. But yeah, like the bad ones you remember, like Aguero's goal. Like I remember watching that at home, being like, what the fuck is going on?
I think cried because of that.
I didn't. I don't think I cried with that one.
I don't know, I heard you
I
did.
think I was just miserable. I was old enough to not cry for that one. I was just like, this is fucking shit. Like this is really shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like quite a few that you remember that are like more negative. But yeah, like good ones are like just like more like nostalgic things. Like I remember us like playing against. I don't remember the score or anything, but just being a kid watching us like beat Villarreal in the Champions League and it just
Yeah.
being like good to watch.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
You know what? As well, I would say. You know when Fulham went on that crazy run in the Europa League and got to
Yeah.
the final and lost against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
That I remember
Yeah.
watching that every because it was on Channel Five Europa League at the time. I remember we had Channel Five in my bedroom. I didn't have Sky in my bedroom, but I had channels 1 to 5. I used to watch Fulham on a Thursday night and be like, "Go on, Fulham!" Like
That
Clint Dempsey's the
was fun.
goat.
But it's funny because I feel like that's because we were a bit younger, but then like when Leicester were winning the league, I was like, these lot are shit. Like
Yeah, I
I was
was.
never like pro Leicester. I obviously grew up in Leicester as well, so like all the people that supported United and Chelsea all became diehard Leicester fans like just midway through the season. So I
Yeah,
was like very much like, all you guys are fake. They're wank. They're not very good. Like they played dire football. It was just long balls to Vardy and Mahrez was like doing moments of magic and Kante was basically the entire midfield. I was like, this is an awful team. Like this is not a good team to watch. But the league was absolutely gash. And as a result, like they ended up just like not even bullshitting it. They won convincingly.
yeah. I
But like
remember I was
I was
playing.
like, this is the best thing ever. I was like, this is not good for English football.
That's when I was playing for Brig. And I remember it's every Saturday. We literally just like because we'd play pretty much a lot of the time at the same time that they'd be on, and you just check the score, and Leicester had won again and again and
Yeah.
again and again. You were like, they can't keep doing it, and obviously they did. It was cool that though. Straightest thing you've done this week? Block that guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty straight. If I'd have not been straight, if I'd have been, I'm not allowed to say the word apparently now. I've got to say fruitiest or zestiest
Who said this?
or everybody, mate. But I'll just say gay.
Okay.
But I have to premise it, and so I have to say I can't say it, and then I say it
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
It covers my back,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I can't say gay. But yeah, it would have been gay if I'd have like
If he said,
messaged it back and been like,
yeah.
"Nice cock, bro."
Hey, bro, don't worry about the cock in the profile picture. Impressive. Yeah, anyway, man, I take 3, 6, and 12
Let's
months.
jump on a consult call. I've got to got to see that in person,
Yeah.
and then I'll sign you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the straightest thing I've done is just laugh at that inquiry and then block him.
Yeah. I feel like I've just been extremely not straight the last week or so. Training's been pretty meh because I don't feel my best. Yeah, honestly, I just don't feel very straight right now, guys. So I wouldn't say I'm gay, but because I'm not allowed to say that either apparently now. But I definitely say I'm just very meh. So I'm just like just not very straight. So
Middle ground, yeah.
but nothing that's
Like you might have a cock in your ass if you
yeah
wanted it.
yeah. But I
You're
have
not you're not all for it
yeah. I'm
yet.
not like not seeking it. You know, there's a big difference between yeah thinking about it, seeking it. Like big difference. You know, correlation or causation, guys.
Right, most overrated slash overused posing routine song.
uh, XX intro, Skyfall by Adele,
Yeah, The
Blind.
Ordinary.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Ordinary.
yeah.
Sail. AWOL
Behind
Nation.
by the lights. You know the
Loads.
yeah. I'd say those are the that three for me is the first ones. Ordinary last year was at like every natural PCA show. Fucking
Yeah.
hell! I was like, only Natty's opposing to this song. Like it was crazy. Um, yeah, I don't know off the top of my head any of the songs that I think of.
There's a fair few that come up and you go, oh, this one again. You know what I mean? Like every year.
It would be interesting if PCA posted like at the end of the year, like
That would be good.
top,
Yeah,
like
most common.
PCA wrapped, like top five. That I need to tell Ryan that.
Hey, message him that. That would be good.
Do a PCA rap, top five most popular songs. Just
That
like
would be good.
yeah, because that would be like quite interesting. Because I definitely think like Ordinary would have been in there for PCA like last year, like
100%.
100%. You
I
know,
heard that 50 times.
yeah,
I remember every time I was like, what the fuck?
yeah.
It'd be like three in a row. I've got that one as well.
That being said, I do think there are some songs that I remember I heard at the Arnold's in 2020.
There were some good ones at the Arnold's this year that I was like, oh,
Was
well,
there?
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I can't
yeah,
remember exactly what they were, but like I'll have to have a look and go back. But
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
I remember I heard "Young and Beautiful" by Lana Del Rey when we watched the Bikini Girls. You know, I think the same year that you know that really scary looking girl, like, super scary like clown it looking girl. Probably shouldn't say that. Sorry to any clowns like that. I don't think she'd be watching. I also potentially don't think she's alive because she
it was
looks
terrifying.
yeah she looked like she was on her last legs. She was a pro, which was just crazy. But yeah, it wasn't her, but it was like in the same class. They played "Young and Beautiful" Lana Del Rey. I was like, that's a cool song. But I'd like now it's really popular. Not
Uh,
even opposing to it. That's like a popular song. Yeah. But yeah, what would you say? I know there's not really an under. You can't have an underrated song. Like I think
Didn't
again,
say that. I said overrated, overused.
yeah, yeah, you can't really have underrated because it's like depends on again
Yeah,
how they play
like
and
you've
stuff.
got it. But yeah, I
Would
think
you
that's
say?
good having a meaning behind it. Like yours was good at the PTA finals,
Yeah,
like having some meaning behind it,
yeah,
whether it be lyrics or whether it be the song or what. Like just having something where you actually are connected to it rather than just like, oh, I just chose it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Also, I think it's not that deep, and you don't need to
uh,
put pressure on it really.
it's like, and I feel like a lot of people think like it's going to be like. And obviously, I know a lot of people think it's not going to be judged, but like people put so much time and energy into it, and it's like fair enough. Like for example, if you're at a pro level and you want to put up a fucking good routine, wicked. But like some of the best bodybuilders up until probably last year or the last 2 years, Nick Walker would walk out on stage, same with like Hadi Chupa, and just hit 20 most musculars and
Yeah,
just like bounce around the stage and just have a fun time. You know, like not everything has to be so choreographed and
yeah.
perfect. But
Don't put too much pressure on it.
yeah, literally.
I haven't even thought of song or routine yet. I'm not. No, I'm not that bothered, mate. Like, there's a couple songs that I liked at the Arnold's. There's a song that I was thinking I might use, and then Megan was like, "Oh, I might use this for my song," like, and I was like, "Oh, that's quite like cute," because I thought I might use this for it as well. But like,
Yeah.
then also if we were to both use it, it's a bit like,
Yeah. No, the only song that I wanted to post to was the finals one, which was always planned, but that was it. Like the rest, I literally just like when I was training, I was just like, oh yeah, sound this song comes on, I like this. Like the PCA Italy one, I sent off like 2 days before because I was like, I don't really know what song I want to pose to. Like I was like, I only had 3 songs in my head, and I've got to do a 4 fucking show. Shit, what am I gonna
yeah,
do?
I think that's cool as well, doing it to different songs
Oh
rather than
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
the same one each show.
Oh yeah, no, and also as well, like, I think like you posing and stuff like that. Like if you pick a song that kind of suits your physique, I'm not gonna ever pick something like Ordinary for me. Fucking hell, I would look so fucking. I'd look
Yeah.
tragic. I'd look awful.
Also, you'd look weird like with a rock song, and like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
like
not you. Whereas like I've done the songs with like more rock songs because that's kind of what I listen to when I train.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I pick one that just suits you, and then if you pose and you pose pretty well, like the PCA finals routine, I'm not joking. That I did this thing at the start that I couldn't even do now. I practiced that once before walking out. Literally, when I was in the line, I was like, "Let me just do this," and like it looks really good. I swear to God, I've never done that in my life before that. I just thought to myself, I'm just going to try this. And I knew the poses like yeah, but like it wasn't really planned. Like I just kind of like always just I know the first couple poses, and then I'll just go from there. But I swear to God, I did not plan that first bit, and I was like, let me just see. And I did it on stage, and I was like, that's gonna look tragic. Saw the video afterwards, I was like, bullshit. That looks right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, if you hit your poses with
Yeah.
convincing confidence, you'll end up looking up.
Got a question from our friend Argon.
Okay.
Why use pink salt instead of iodized salt when the latter can support thyroid function? Got any thoughts?
Uh, it's just such like a 2026 sort of question.
Yeah, strange question.
I don't even know where to start, to be fair. Like, if we like, because it'd be the exact same if you were to use the other salt. Like, it would be, or let's say, for example, you were to go for, I don't know, higher potassium, like a low salt. It would be like, oh, well, you're not going to get the muscular activation benefits of pink Himalayan salt, and the like. I just find stuff like this. Just like have your sodium level, keep it somewhat consistent. Have a bit more around your training session. If you drink more fluid, you eat a bit more food, your sodium probably going to go up. And just pick the salt that's going to be best with you that doesn't spike up your blood pressure. Like I know you use low salt, don't you? Usually a bit
I
more.
use both. I
Yeah,
use both. But like, I wouldn't know the difference between pink salt and iodized salt. Like I say to people, when people ask me like, oh, why do I need pink salt? I say you don't. Say if you want to have just normal sea salt, it's almost going to be the exact same.
it's
Like,
not going to make a huge difference.
yeah,
I've had plenty of times where like I've ran out of pink salt. And I've used regular salt, and I've not gone. Oh my god, my performance is so much worse.
like, pink salt and regular sea salt are not massively different at all. They're higher sodium salt. And then low salt is lower sodium salt and higher potassium, and you can then sort of get that closer to like a one-to-one balance. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't be worrying too much about that. Like I would just focus on like making sure you've got a decent electrolyte balance, closest to one, and your performance is good, your pumps are good, you're well hydrated.
But the only thing that I would consider is the bigger you are, usually the more potassium, and to be fair, sodium, but definitely potassium you need. I think sodium can stay kind of similar, but like I definitely know with like my bigger dudes, like I always will push potassium a fair bit higher, and like that usually will correlate to like nutrient uptake and everything just being a little bit more efficient. But then at the same time, you're a bigger dude, you're going to be eating more food. As a result, you're probably going to be drinking a bit more because your body requires more water and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think these sort of things are like few and far between. And like bearing in mind, I don't know how Argon looks currently, but judging off when he applied with us a few years ago, I wouldn't be saying Argon needs to really stress about which
The
salt.
last thing I think about is exactly which salt I need to use.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like, I don't think like it's the same as like when let's say you get a client who's like starting prep and they're like, "Hey, bro," like I had a few this year and they're like, "Hey, bro, just let me know what you want my sodium at," and I'm like, "Just keep it the exact same," and
Yeah,
they're like,
just
"Yeah,
track it and like
yeah,"
keep it the same, and then we know where it's at.
and they're like, "Yeah, but like ideally, where would you want it?" I'm like, "I don't want it anywhere. Like, just tell me what you've been having, put it
Yeah,
down on the sheets, and then if I need to manipulate, I will tell you." But like often, let's say like for example, like with myself, I didn't ever really track my sodium. I literally had the exact same amount of salt roughly per day, and then when I was peaking and if I was increasing my food, I'd have a bit more sodium. If I was trying to dry off the day before a show, I wasn't having as much sodium, and it was like very consistent.
allow like
Yeah,
especially I'll always get people to at least let's say like a couple months out.
yeah.
I'm like, right, let's check where it's at. Like maybe let's have a look on chronometer and see, if we can improve electrolyte balance. But like you don't need to be doing that fucking 365 days a year tracking your salt exactly. Like you can pretty much estimate and keep it very regular, very consistent anyway.
It's like, to be fair, it's like within the like enhanced games now, like in that like everyone's going to do the whole like finger prick blood glucose test, and like in America, it's quite popular to have like consistent blood glucose readings, and it's like I don't know why. Like again, I don't like the thought process of like these guys didn't, but Ronnie Coleman isn't pricking his finger after every meal to go, oh my god, my blood glucose is 5.3 instead of 4.8. I need to go for a 10-minute walk. Like blood glucose will naturally upregulate, downregulate depending on what you're doing, and there's going to be times where it might be slightly higher, but that doesn't mean you're going to be storing it as body fat. It'd be the exact same as going, oh my God, I had 2 grams less salt or whatever. You know, the only things I would say, and to be fair, like for me, I definitely ride my sodium on training days pretty high, especially around the workout window. If I ever have any more, like let's say for example, if Sanaya cooks my final meal, if there's a little bit more salt, I usually be able to tell because I'm like, I've got a bit of like a null headache. And then like and that's after all my food, and if I was to do my blood pressure, I'd be like, okay, it's a little bit elevated because I probably tipped that salt balance a little bit too high. But like these are things again to consider, and that's me as a 130 kilo plus bodybuilder. So yeah.
Where is the best place to gain info about bodybuilding specific nutrition and recovery and all that niche?
I wouldn't say there's one place really, which sounds that you could say, oh, there's a gap in the market, but realistically, like knowledge is not just from one source, and it shouldn't ever be if you're wanting to like fully master everything. Like initially, I would say to everybody out there, get the basics understood by a few sources that you trust, whether it's podcasts, members' websites, following people on Instagram, YouTube videos, and then from that point, it's usually like how I learn and probably how me and Finn learn is we'll listen to different like sources and then we'll contrast and think this is what I believe, but this is what these two believe, and then I'm going to like make my own sort of thesis and I'm going to use my own experience. So I wouldn't say there's one direct place, but get your knowledge from places you trust. That's not a guy off TikTok that is 18 on fucking SARMs and peptides. And it'd be the exact same as not just listening to one source on YouTube or whatever, because everyone's going to have their own opinions. Like, I saw Myron Max put up a thing about like not getting strong recently. If you just followed Myron Max, you'd be like, I need to not get strong. But then you follow JP, and it's like, this is so contrasting. And neither Max or JP is really correct. Like, some people will be very much on JP's correct. Some people, the Max is correct, but like just go down the middle and say what can you take from both of those, and then you form your own opinions, and you'll probably end up having way more critical thinking because you'll actually use your own brain. So that would be my sort of thought process behind trying to get a little bit more knowledge.
Yeah, I think like you said, like initially, like for myself, like it was literally just through YouTube, like just following guys who I thought looked good, and I started to learn about like the basics of training and nutrition and stuff, and like obviously, yeah, I did like sports science at college, and I went to Loughborough Uni and did sports science and stuff like that, and did my PT qualifications and everything like that, but at the end of the day, like that's all very much like entry level. Like even my degree, people would think like, oh, like sports science degree, you must like learn so much from it. But like not in regards to bodybuilding and coaching. Like you learn in terms of like yeah, basics in anatomy and biomechanics and stuff. Yeah, great. But like if we're looking at it from just a bodybuilding perspective, not a lot of it is really like that relative. It doesn't correlate that well. If anything, like you'll learn 100 times more doing something like J3U or ICM or Pro IQ or whatever the newest one's going to be. You'll learn a lot more from those in terms of bodybuilding, coaching, and training, and nutrition, and anabolics, and so on, than you would from going and doing a degree, which is crazy. Obviously, it's a bit different if you were to do like a degree, like specifically on one of those topics. You know what I mean?
I'm a strength and conditioning, and mine was
Yeah.
not. That's like when I think of uni, that I use a biomechanic. I think of doing biomechanics on a tennis serve, and me literally thinking to myself, why the fuck am I?
Yeah, we did it on a tennis serve and
Yeah,
on the start of like a 100 meter sprint.
yeah, and I was like, why am I doing this, man? Like, we did a bit of practical, and that was it. But like, it was like, why they want my
Yeah,
form?
like for all the things like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
monitor. Yeah, we did
yeah.
that.
Like that was the only thing that I thought was okay. But then I was getting explained that I was mechanically like horrendous at tennis, and I was like, of course. Of course I am. Like I'm not a tennis player. So you'd be amazing after all the paddle that you're playing.
Yeah, I'm good. I used to be good at tennis.
Yeah. But yeah.
Um, yeah, played paddle. Fucking mate, just demolished the boys. They couldn't get me off the court. It was winter stays on, and I did about 20, 30 minutes. I was like, boys, I'm gonna have to go for a wee. I can't keep doing this.
Really?
Yeah, I actually, I wasn't great, but I did keep winning. But like when I used to play tennis, me and my mate Will back at home, like we used to play a lot, and we actually both got quite good at tennis.
Can I
Yeah,
ask what is the difference between paddle and tennis? Is it smaller pitches? Is that it?
So paddles, it's a court, mate, pitch.
Hmm?
It's a court, not a
Oh,
pitch.
okay. Sorry to any paddle players out there. I hope I don't offend anybody by that.
So paddle is it, I visualize paddle as a mix between tennis and squash because you can hit it off the walls and stuff, which you can do in squash.
No?
But squash is just one way facing, whereas tennis is two ways. Like you're hitting it back to someone, whereas in squash you're always hitting it against the wall. So I used to play squash with my dad growing up a little bit because my dad was like really good at squash, and then I used to play tennis with my mate Will. So like I've kind of got a bit of it both. But yeah, it's if if you want a basic rundown, it's kind of a mixture between tennis and squash. But it's good. It is fun. It's just it's it's supposed to be two player, like it's supposed to be doubles on the court that we played on. But we did singles on the double court, whereas usually, apparently, if you play singles, you should only hit to one side. But it just makes it a bit more fun doing to both sides, especially if you neither if one of you is amazing or both of you are amazing, you do a full court, it'll be like brutal. It'd be like ridiculous cardio. Like the guy told us there, he was like, "You only play one side unless you want really hard cardio." And I was, yeah, it was fun to be fair.
The same like 15, 30, 45, stuff like that, or is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I know it's quite popular recently.
Last one.
Oh,
Any plans to open another gym?
right now, no, but yeah, in a way, like we've not really got like a plan of being like, yeah, we're going to do this by this time. We're just going with the flow. The main goal is literally get the guys out next door to us to move out soon, hopefully, and then we'll expand into that.
That'll be within the next year, regardless.
Yeah, and then from that point, it will be where, like, I imagine with how we're going to do things, we'll have the gym, like, at that point, pretty much complete. And then it would be a case of, at that point, I imagine we get more members, the gym would be generating even more money, which would be really cool. And then it's like, right, cool, what do we want next? Do we buy our own unit? Do we transfer everything over? Do we have a separate unit? Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and like we would have to then have like full staff, and there's like the more that you end up like putting into it, there is going to be a hell of a lot more. But then also in 5 years, mine and Finn's coaching will probably be a bit more selective. The gym, I imagine, will be like something that probably is going to be a bit more like, right now we're not taking any money out of it, we don't want to, but maybe in 5 to 6 years it might be where that's maybe our main source of income, or that could potentially be like where we've got a branch. Like there's not really an immediate rush or plan. Like it's just literally a case of let's get the gym fully complete, which the second the next door move out, that will be operation go go go. It won't be where it's like,
We
okay,
need to upgrade from then. We won't need more space. That'll be enough space. It'll then just be like making it better and better and better
yeah.
over time, which is exciting.
Yeah, and then when we have that complete, it'll be like, right, what's next? Like, I definitely think if I was to skip ahead 5 years, I would be very surprised if we weren't in the process of either buying a unit, having a second gym, or something. I'd be very surprised. But then also, like, we'll see how things go. Like right now, the gym is going really well. It's been such a cool project, and as well, like what you do have to remember, as much as like right now, like we're not taking money from it, coaching is not like people aren't going to be coming to me and Finn when we're 50 over the guys that are probably on the next app that are doing everything through AI. We might have still some rep in the game through people that, let's say, know us, but coaching is a short shelf life, and let's say where things are. And like at the end of the day, like we're looking at it not thinking to set ourselves up long term, like, but kind of we are. But gyms aren't the most profitable things, but it's fucking cool if we have multiple gyms. That'd be a really fucking cool thing to have as like something that's an investment into the future. Because let's say in 10 to 15 years, coaching might be completely different, and there'll be a lot of coaches that have done literally, if they go and get a job, they're like, what have you done for 15 years? Like, oh, I've been self-employed, but that's it. They've got no skills. Where if we're like, oh, we've got 4 gyms, we're selective with our coaching. We have a few other things going on the pipeline. Like, I'd like something like Dorian Hamilton's got, where it's like supplements, food. So he's got the cream of rice supplements. He's got gym kit sourcing and like outsourcing and stuff like that. He's got obviously his own gym. He's got a CrossFit gym, and like his business list is not just like one tree. It's like everything within the fitness industry. He also coaches that he's probably making money and enjoying. So like that, I'd say is the long-term goal when it comes to like what I'm doing. And I imagine it'd be the similar for Vin. So yeah.
Yeah, I think like I can visualize like us having franchises, if you like, where like the physique club in Loughborough is the main one, but then there's one over here and there's one over here. Like that would be really cool in the years to come if that was like doable, and I think it is doable for sure. It's just then keeping the quality and trying to keep that same like vibe that we've got in the first one. But it's doable, and that is something that does excite me, like definitely. But also, like I still feel like that natural physique coaching's got potential to be huge. You know what I mean? In terms of like the name, in terms of how we're doing it, in terms of like having like the natural physique hub, and then expanding that to people who can't afford for one-to-one coaching, like all that kind of stuff, which we're bringing out this year. So like that as well, which would be really really cool. But yeah, I'm like you're exactly right, mate. And again, like I think people, because of how popular coaching is now, people just think like, oh, sick! I just want to get to X amount of clients and earn X amount of money, and I'm sorted. And it's like it's almost like any kind of career that isn't like a corporate job, like isn't long. You know what I mean? Any kind of sporting career, and even like coaching. Like there are successful coaches that are in their 40s, 50s, definitely. And I'd like to think that I would be able to do that, and still be at a very high level, and still people still want to be coached by me at that age because of the experience and the name and the brand and everything. But also, like you said, do you think at that age you'd want to be coaching as much as we do now? Probably not. We'd want to be doing other things with our families. So it's like, yeah, it's just sort of setting yourself up. But yeah, in terms of like the main question of like opening another gym, not yet, but excited to expand into next door when we can.
I feel like once we get next doors going, that's going to be where it's like things kick on pretty rapidly from that point. Not saying they haven't, like for me, considering how the gym looks like to where it was. Like, let's say if we skipped back last year, like we've not even been open a year at this point, and for us to have the community, people travel over like constantly, either it's our clients or none, like not our clients, and they just come for the vibe, and stuff like that. Like that's like people travel to just come and train and use the kit and stuff, which is like awesome. Like I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but maybe a few weeks back we had two lads come in and they were like, oh, we train in the leisure centre. They were like 17. We both spoke to them, and they were like, oh, I train in the leisure centre, and like there's just kit's naff and gym's a bit shit. We came here last week and like I absolutely loved it. And like we were once those like 17, 18 year olds going to like, when we were training in pure gyms, then go to a proper gym, we were like, what the fuck, this is sick. So to be able to do that's a fucking win in itself. But like I think get the unit next door. That'll be then where we can then spend a lot of money to get like not all the dream kit, because we're not far off. But then it's like, right, we've got a reason to spend money, so we can put this kit in. We can use it ourselves, which is really cool. And then once that's complete, it's like, well, at that point we don't really like. I imagine it's not going to be where, because we'll have enough space to pretty much have everything we want. It won't be where we're like, right now, for
That's
example.
the issue now is we can't. Yeah, we have to get rid of stuff. We haven't got the space.
If someone offered us, let's say, I don't know, a Mark II Cybex hack, it'd be like, well, yeah, it's good, but like, I have to get rid of some of the Jim Lecco pieces, and I really like Jim Lecco hack, and like, I don't want to get rid of that. Where like, if someone said that when we got the new place, it'd be like, yeah, sound, however much it costs, we'll get it. Like, that's cool. And it's like, I think that's the exciting thing, is once we get that ticked off, then it's like, right, we're in a position now where it's like all the money we're generating, like the gym's basically complete at that point. It'll be pretty much a case of, right, let's obviously we'll reinvest if new bits come available, all that sort of jazz. But like then it would be like, right, expand into a new place or get a separate gym, and then go from there, which would be really cool. And like in a way, mate, it'd be fucking awesome. Imagine like, let's say we have 3 gyms dotted around wherever, and you can just be like, oh, sound, I'm like in this place, I'm just gonna go into one of my gyms. Like that'd be fucking cool. And it self like, because right now, like in a way, as much as obviously we open up and stuff, like the gym is self-sufficient. Like we literally open the doors, turn the lights on, put the music on, and then we just crack on and work. And then we have lads to close it. Like we could easily right now have it probably where it's manned constantly and stuff like that. And also we could have it where it's not manned. Like it could just be a like a
Yeah. We could easily do that. I think that's what we'd need to do in the long term.
Yeah, but like it's quite cool because like again, people that probably don't understand because they've not done it before. Like, but like let's say with coaching, I've said this before, your direct time equates to money. With a gym, it's like the money and the investment is the initial outlay, and then it's just a case of like making sure that it's maintained and that people enjoy the place. Like everyone that comes to TPC, I have no doubts that are like, sick, this gym's wicked when it comes to kit, vibe. The only thing you could say is, oh, it could be bigger. But we knew that, and that's why we're waiting for the next place. And then from that point, I honestly can't really see why people would train elsewhere. Like, I don't really see, like, if let's say, for example, someone was like, oh, I want to go to this gym, the only thing would be like, oh, I want to go to an Ultraflex because of the name, because of the tag.
Yeah, or just like they might have one or two other pieces that we don't have.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone has preferences. Some people might want to, I don't know, go and use Watson kit. I doubt it, but they might, So yeah, it's exciting, and I think once we have that place, like that'll be where, like, we, in my opinion, we're established within the area of like the best gym within like the Leicestershire sort of like area.
Yeah.
You know, which I think for vibes, I think for kit quality, I already think we're there. But I think for once we have
For
like,
all size, for overall kit,
yeah,
and for like even like changing rooms,
yeah,
facilities, things like that.
yeah,
We're not.
yeah, the smaller things. So yeah, right, cool. That's that. Finn, anything you would like to leave us with? Nothing.
No,
Nothing at all.
nothing at all. I want
Okay.
to go and finish off work, finish some steps, and have my last meal.
Fair enough, mate. Enjoy. What's your final meal?
Tonight, guys, get on the darts. Thursday night, Premier League darts, big night.
What's the saying?
Stand up if you love the darts.
Should we both stand up?
I do love the darts, yeah, but I'm not going to stand up because I'm going to carry on working here.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Hope everything enjoyed, guys. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.